All right, well, ISIS now taking responsibility for murdering dozens of Christians, heading to a monastery on a bus in Egypt. Mass gunmen killing 29 people, including children, and injuring dozens more.
It follows a series of bomb attacks by ISIS on Coptic Christians and churches in Egypt. So, where's the so-called mainstream media on this story?
Here to weigh in, Fox News religion contributor Father Jonathan Morris. Father, good to see you this morning.
It hurts just to hear that news, right?
Are you surprised, though, by the lack of coverage of this in the mainstream media? Why is there this reluctance to cover a story like this?
I don't know what's in their minds. What I do know is that this is a very, very big deal, and it will become a very big deal for everyone when it happens here at home. Imagine this happening here at home, a targeting of Christians. And of course it will happen because they have every interest and every intention of doing it. So when it hits home, that's when people will start taking it seriously.
Father John, I'm concerned a couple years from now, when we look back on the last few decades, the truly genocide, the pushing out of Christians across the Middle East is a story that has been hidden in many ways from the scenes. How deep is that crisis in the Middle East?
People would like to think that this has nothing to do with religion, and that's just false. These Coptic Christians were targeted not because they were Coptic, not because they were on this bus or that bus, but because they were Coptic Christians who every single day know that they are putting their lives on the line. They could just totally blend into society. They actually choose to get up and go to church knowing that it might be their last time.
What did you make of President Trump's recent comments about terrorists when he was over in Europe, calling them monsters, calling them losers? I mean, he's using language that we haven't heard ever, really, when it comes to terrorism.
Well, sometimes you need to use that type of language in order to wake people up, right? That's why we're doing some coverage of it when he says, you know what, I'm not even going to call them monsters because they would like to be called monsters. They are losers. And the fact is they actually are losers, not only in the sense of what a loser, but in the sense of they are wasting their life. They are losing their life. They are living for something that is a dead end, not only here in the now, but also, I would say, in eternity.
This is the first time we've had you on the show since we've had a chance to talk about the president's trip with the Pope and have a chance to meet face-to-face, talking a little pizza and what he's been eating and some other things. What did you make of the meeting between
I thought it was very respectful. Here are two people who certainly have different opinions on a lot of things, but who come together certainly in respect for life and understanding the urgency of stopping ISIS. Remember 2.5 years ago, not many people talk about this, but 2.5 years ago, it was Pope Francis, the one who is known as being a peace-loving person, who he obviously is. 2.5 years ago, he was telling the international community, you better get your act together. And through his ambassador to the United Nations saying, use force if necessary to stop the unjust aggressor. And it was shortly after that that President Obama did step up the fight against ISIS, and the world community came together to a certain degree. But in that sense, I think President Trump and Pope Francis have a lot in common.
On this Memorial Day weekend, as a man of faith, how does it make you feel?
Gosh, just watching those gentlemen out there, knowing that these are super talented guys and ladies, super talented, and they are putting their lives on the line. That means there's something bigger than ourselves worth not only living for, but dying for. And in my opinion, that points towards eternity. If you don't believe in eternity, why would you possibly put your life on the line? Because they believe in something bigger than themselves, and it's so impressive, and we're so grateful to so many who have.
And you would not make the cut for the tug-of-war team?
You know what? I don't think I would be much of a help. They were not recruiting me out there.
Father, that is such a great message
big guys
today.
and ladies.
As you were saying in person, they were huge.
Absolutely huge.
Unbelievable.